I've got a delay.
He's gone on holiday. Evening.
Hello.
Good evening, all.
So why did you run off looking so flustered, Vivian? What are you doing?
I'm just sharing.
I sent you the link to share about an hour ago.
I think
I
this
know
is
I
what she.
shared, but I do when it go live.
This is what she does, Jonathan. She pretends to look busy like she does at work.
Listen, I spoke to Jonathan today when I was at work. I was very busy.
Naughty.
Chicks.
Was it in your lunch hour?
No.
No. Oh dear. Company time. I hope you clocked out and clocked in for the 10 or 15 minutes or whatever it was you spoke to Jonathan. Or I will tell. Is there anybody in the chat, Vivian? I can't see the chat for some reason. It's been like that on here for a bit for me. I don't know what's going on. Good evening, Simon.
Yes, 3 people in the chat.
Oh, excellent. Are you, Noreen?
It's Simon. It's Simon. How are you, my dear? Simon, all the way from Denmark.
Oh wow!
He's one of the CFZ people.
I thought there was a Nordic name there.
So, what's been happening with you, Dan? Let's ignore Viv. She's just
we'll send her to Coventry. Nothing really, Jonathan. Nothing at all really, apart from enjoying the weather and enjoying it and cursing it in equal amounts, really.
Well,
apart from that, nothing. Keeping my finger on the pulse as to what's going on in the paranormal world, and there's not a lot going on there. Same rubbish as they say, different day. Nothing exciting that I've seen that to report. Don't know if there's anything you've seen or any topics that you've noticed in the last week or so.
I've got something for you, man. It is really, really, really potentially absolutely fantastic.
Really? I'm excited.
It has been released this morning. Well, in fact, it was probably released, what day is it, Dave? It was probably released on Monday, but it's been released this week, saying that in the 200 years it has been since rabbits were first let loose into Australia and became an invasive species.
Really?
They are considerably larger than their European counterparts, even though they're the same species. Hi, Nico.
Hi, Nico. How have they given any reason for that? Is it? I mean,
yeah, wait for it gets better.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And it turns out the same is happening with cane toads.
Australia with the cane toads because they had a big cold, didn't they?
But their legs are getting longer. Australian cane toads have longer front legs than the parent species in South America.
Because I think they were imported there from South America, weren't they, to
Yeah, of
take
course
care of
they were,
sugarcane?
And
Yeah.
they just and it turns that both cane toads and rabbits have now been proven to have physically changed in the time they've been in
In
Australia.
200 years.
Yeah. Cane toads has
Bloody
been
hell, that's
missing
quick.
that, I think. And wait for it. This is totally great corroborative evidence towards the theory that in Australia the feral cats are beginning to get really, really big, which is why there's been at least 2 the size of a puma that have been shot.
What? Whoa.
And this is something, the moment the feral cat story is somewhere on the liminal space between science and pseudoscience and hearsay. But the fact that the rabbits and the cane toads have now been accepted to be getting larger and changing their size in such a short space of time, this does suggest that there's something happening in Australia which can cause accelerated evolution under certain circumstances
I wonder what
for
that is then.
invasive species.
Have they got any idea what's causing it? Or the...
Not at the moment, as far as I know. I don't know about you, but I think this is absolutely fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Simon's just suggested, could it be island gigantism? That's one word. Hi, Nettie.
Hi, Nettie.
That's a word I've never been able to pronounce. I always get it wrong. I always get gigantism and gigantism mixed up together. Hi, Mary. But I don't think island gigantism. Australia is far too big to be able to produce that small gene pool that you need to produce island gigantism. And although Australia is an island, it's a sodding big one.
It's a massive, yeah.
And as far as I'm aware, island gigantism and island dwarfism are both things that take place over a long period of time, not just a couple of hundred years.
No. It's
I
very
don't know about you. To me, this is the best, most exciting news.
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. Something I did, I picked up on this week actually, and I did double check it to make sure that it was right and it wasn't just like talking heads. And there have been scientific studies on it. Apparently, the axis of the Earth has sped up ever so slightly, and what's happening is it's playing havoc with tides. And they don't know what repercussions, but what's happening because of the speed that it's sped up, it's decreasing daylight hours in the northern hemisphere. So what's happening is that it's only milliseconds or seconds, but it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter probably every night. And they don't know, but there has been. I mean, you've got all this stuff, the flooding stuff. To be honest with you, I think I'm a bit suspicious of that. And a lot of people have said, well, you know what, it could be down to governments interfering with weather patterns and doing all this, what they call it, like this seeding and stuff. I don't really know, but I don't know whether it's to be concerned about or excited about, to be honest with you, because I don't know the full repercussions of it over a long period of time.
I bet you one thing. I wonder if this has got anything to do with the fact that we're getting so many migrant birds totally out of place now.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, crude jokes coming probably from the cheap seats. Yes, Nico, I'm looking at you. There have been 2 species of booby seen
on
the Cornish coast in the last 6 months.
It's your birthday week.
Good on you, Nico. Is it his birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Nico.
Shall we sing to him?
Oh, Nico. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
to
you.
Nico.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
you.
to
Happy birthday, dear slightly inebriated
Nico,
Nico.
Nico.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday
you.
to you.
And many more.
Andy didn't notice my thing about boobies, which I was quite
I
pleased.
know he didn't pick up on it. Mind you, he's slightly inebriated. It'll probably catch up in a sec. Cloud seeding, yeah, and the blue rain. Yes, I saw the blue rain. That's concerning. Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? And you've got these wildfires as well breaking out again, haven't you? Which is, it seems to be. Well, there's a lot of. I won't go into it because it's conspiratorial, a lot of it, but it does beg the question of what's going on out there.
Well, the whole bloody thing does. The whole world is bonkers at the moment. There's something strange happening.
There is something strange, very, very odd happening. One of the rivers, apparently, that in America, one of the seas as well, has turned completely red, as have some of the rivers. And it's not down to contamination or sewage. They've got no reason for it. And of course, the rivers, as we know, the biblical rivers turn to blood. Who knows? Who knows?
I wonder if those sound like algae blooms to me.
Yes, it's a possibility. Yes,
because
possibility.
I know. Oh God, this is about 20 years ago. There was a weird blue-green algae bloom in Exeter Canal, and it made the whole canal look like somebody poured fluorescent paint into it.
Yeah, these are what these rivers look like. They're very. As a guy who was, I wouldn't have been doing it myself, but he was canoeing up this river in North America, and I mean, he went for quite a long way, and the whole thing was like a bright red. And I looked and I thought, well, I wouldn't be. It looks like a contamination of some description, but as you say, algae, yeah, it could very well be.
And
We don't know, do
Nico
we?
finally caught up.
He did eventually, but he got there. Yeah, absolutely, Nettie. Absolutely.
Nettie, as always, you talk more sense than the rest of us put together.
Absolutely. Tis very true. So, yes, the world's going to hell in a handcart, and
yes,
I suppose we've all got ringside tickets for it, really. Which goes back to, I'm not being political, but don't trust any governments. They're all bastards.
Let me tell you, while you've been chatting away, I've just confirmed a guest in our diary.
I'm an anarchist.
Hey!
Anyway, so who's the guest? Who's the guest?
Is it me?
Steve Ryder has just confirmed.
Excellent.
Oh, he's a good lad, Steve.
Yes.
Excellent.
And you haven't double booked him with Cara, have you?
No.
Clever guy.
Could there be some sort of leech? It could be anything, Noreen. They've not come to any conclusion on it. I don't think whether they've done any like they've taken it out and researched it, looked into it. I don't know, but
some bugger will have done, but whether it's been made public or not.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very odd. What's happening in this planet at the minute is very odd, and I think a lot of it's probably by design. But hey ho.
So, what have you discovered this week, Vivian?
I've discovered. I've been watching something. Trying to learn something this week.
Porn again?
No, it's not porn. Well, it might be. As soon as I mention these two words, you're going to think, yeah, it's porn. I'm trying to understand the World Bank.
Good luck with that.
And from what I understand, if there is no debt in this world, there is no World Bank.
Yeah.
Where there is debt, there is a bank, World Bank.
Yeah.
So we'll always be in debt.
Can I just add in there?
Go on.
The reason there is debt is because of the World Bank.
Yes.
And if you look at the globalists and you look at the World
right.
Bank, they never go skin because they can always reprint money, right? Always print money and flood the market going with it, right? Okay, good. If you and I were to do
interest
that,
rates inflate.
And if you and I were to do that and go, we're running out of money, let's print some more, we would be arrested and put away for a very long time because it would be considered a crime against the government of the crown. But
there's a lot of avenues that come in with this World Bank thing, and it's more corrupt than people
rotten. It's
actually
rotten.
realise. But I'm beginning. I have to learn world markets. I'm looking at the World Bank. I've gone right the way back to the beginning, and I'm sort of slowly seeing into the
It's
present
frightening,
day.
isn't it? Because what it shows you is that the whole thing is an illusion to create power.
Yeah.
And
Really?
why do you think the Lord forbade usury?
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or, is it usury or usury, isn't it?
Usury, I think. Isn't
Usury.
it? But it is. It is. And well, I'm not going to get too political with it, but
No.
a lot of it seems to be emanating from a certain part of the world.
And also this week, I have been trying to catch up with sleep and other things because I was filming at the weekend.
Yes.
Yes. It was tiring. It was great. It was good. It was fun. It was tiring. And can I just say, it was a pleasure to meet William Southey.
I was going to say, did you meet Mr. Southey?
We did. We had a coffee together, and me and Mr. Southey's wife hit it like a house on fire.
Jolly good.
Yeah. But it was wonderful to meet William Southey down there in Glastonbury in his hometown. So, yes.
So it was an all-round good trip.
Yeah, it was very tiring, I must tell you, because I suffer with fibromyalgia, and
another one.
I had to climb the tour.
No.
I hurt my ankles the week before because I fell over, and anyway, long story short, they're still hurting.
Do you know what? Fibromyalgia is something that I was never aware of until the last few years, and it seems that an awful lot of people seem to be suffering with it.
Mine's with age and early menopause, I'm afraid. So,
what is it exactly?
It's when your body, when your brain tells you that your body is hurting.
So it's like an immune problem, immunity.
Yeah, it is, and some days it's really, really bad. If I overexert myself, the next day I will suffer for it, and normally end up laid up in bed or it not being able to walk.
It causes pain though, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, excruciating pain every day, but I won't let it beat me. Not while I'm young-ish.
No, exactly. Yeah. Me sounds similar to me, doesn't it?
With all my women folk, Vivian, my daughter Lizzie, Gwyn, Mike's girlfriend Isabel, and half a dozen other people I know have all got. Pretty well every woman I know has got fibromyalgia.
I think it was John Merrick, the Elephant Man. John Merrick.
Yeah, it was John. It was. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that he was. I didn't know that, Simon. That's an interesting.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting. I've never even heard of it for the last few years. Never even heard of the word fibromyalgia.
Simon, you are a boundless source of information.
That's interesting.
All sorts of stuff as life goes on that I'd never heard of.
No, exactly. But it sounds like
I have like osteoarthritis in my wrists that was diagnosed years and years ago. So if I type a lot or do a lot of wrist action, don't be rude. Wrist action. There's none of that going on here. None of that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're disgusting.
I'm not disgusting. You're the one who keeps on going on about wrist jobs.
I just said wrist action. If I do a lot of
That's
this.
even worse than wrist action.
And Nettie,
you're just as bad. Stop encouraging her.
me, and let me tell you, me and Nettie are sweet and innocent.
Yeah, right. As the driven snow. Yeah, right.
Vivian, you're about as sweet and innocent as I am, darling.
Can I just tell you that I went into the Goddess Temple for the first time in Glastonbury and sat on really lovely, fluffy sheepskin rugs.
Nice.
And just sat quietly and listened to the sea. It was.
I don't believe that. Sitting quietly, I'm not having that.
I did. I got witnesses. William's my witness.
How did you listen to the sea?
They played a CD.
Oh, for fuck's
sake! I was going to say,
communing with nature.
I was going to say we're in more
Communing with-
trouble. If you can hear the sea from Glastonbury, we're in more trouble than I thought, but like ecologically.
Yeah, I was just going to make really good jokes about the state of their ears then. For fuck's sake.
And the best thing of all was I managed to get hold of some, you know, this Nag Champa Jostic malarkey.
Yeah, the proper Nag
I
Champ,
love
yeah.
Nag Champa. I love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
managed to get hold of some extra long ones that are about this long and burn for
Where the
about
hell
3
I've never
hours.
seen those.
Sorry, say that again. I got sidetracked. I heard extra long ones.
And wrist jobs.
Extra long Nag Champas. You know, like you see them, they light in the temples, these extra thick,
Incense
extra
sticks, aren't
long incense sticks.
Oh, the long
Managed-
stick.
Meaty ones.
Oh,
Those are the real. Those
Hey,
Nag Champs are the real
Vivian.
quality ones, aren't they? They're the proper, authentic, really nice ones.
Oh,
hey, when it's my show, we behave ourselves. This is really awful.
that was really big, meaty Nag Champas, long ones. Yeah, and I lit one in the house just to see how it was. And, and he went out. He came back in. He went, "Oh, it's really smoky in here." I went to open the window then. But it didn't set off. It did not set off the fire alarms we've got.
Oh, there you go.
And how much are? Oh, poor Nettie's never seen a big one.
Has she not? She's never
She's
lived.
not se-
You've
she's
not
not
lived,
seen a big
Nettie.
one.
Nunny.
What's nunny? Is that a funny saying?
Like a
You're
nun,
being a bit
like a
like a
nun.
nun.
Oh, yeah, we are nunny.
Fuck.
I was really a professional figure skater. Shh, it's a secret.
And you're pissed, Nico.
Nico, shall me, you, and Dan, and whoever wants to go, should we go ice skating one night? You can show off your.
Ice skating, I can't even walk.
No, I can't even fucking walk.
Yeah, but the ice rink could be haunted, so going on the ice, you know.
I'll take your word for it.
How are we going to get my wheelchair onto the ice?
I'll
Skate
push you
on your
round.
wheelchair.
Yeah, but we'll just push
Hi,
you
Bill.
round.
Hi, Bill.
Good to
I
see you.
will. Just, you know what? I will
Excuse me.
push you round on the ice in your wheelchair. And we could go quite fast, but I can't go
But like a
until
sled.
we'll stop.
Not
Is
even
there
the strength of your wrists, yeah?
Just wrist action. It's all about the wrist.
It's all in the wrist.
Yes.
Left wrist again. Just like this one.
I'd love to go ice skating with you, Jonathan. I reckon it'd be hilarious.
I can't fucking walk. I could. The one time I tried it was about 30 years ago, and I fell ass over tits within about 30 seconds.
That's the experience I had. I went once and never again. It's like, I'm not bloody doing that anymore.
I went ice skating in Richmond and I fell over. My hands went down. This was speed skating. My hands went down. And then, you know, you have the public that have the rinks skates that they put on. Blunt as
Yeah.
fuck. We used to call them the Blue Welly Brigade. Anyway, I had my hand down, face down, trying to get up. And this stupid woman, she just went straight over my hand.
Oh!
Straight over my hand.
I
And
can
it
feel
didn't
that.
it didn't even break the skin because it was
Wow.
that blunt.
They're
And
normally like razors, aren't they? They're normally like razors.
She-
them
she-
things.
she couldn't have had her full weight on the ice when she went over my hand, but she went straight over my hand. Everyone then rushed for me to help lift me
Thinking
up because, I was fine. But I had my speed skates on with the quarter grind. Had somebody gone over my hand with those on,
Oh, take your fingers off.
it would have cut
They're
me
like
open.
razors, aren't they? They're actually like razors, those things.
It's actually like it's sort of like that shape, the quarter grinds. They're like
Horrible,
that.
though.
It's really weird. But
What
yeah.
on earth were you doing going skating on speed?
Not on foot.
She'd run out of
I
pop.
wish it was. I would have gone faster.
Oh God, no! Speed's a horrible fucking drug.
Yeah, but it helps you lose weight. Do-do-do-do.
Oh yeah, because you speed like you run around everywhere, don't you? Yeah, and everything's like 1,000 miles an hour.
Mind you, I'm losing weight just sitting in this room. I'm
Oh, the
sweating.
heat's not help. Well, what's it
Oh.
like? Is it hot there?
It's really hot and muggy, and I've got the sun on the back of the house now, so
And
that looks like a
not,
portal, doesn't it? A portal to the beyond.
it does. John's not blocking the sun out for you. He's not in a window like.
No, he's dying out there
I'm
on
not
the kitchen
that
floor.
Not you, the cat. Viv, is there anything new in the paranormal world? Any gossip that you've come across this week? Anything exciting, interesting, anything worth knowing?
Exciting gossip, interesting thing is me and Dan might have a new venue, not investigated. Can't talk about it really on here, but me and Dan are gonna at some point we're gonna meet up and go and give it a recce. I like that word, recce, rookie recce.
A recce.
We give it a recce, and then we'll decide if we are going to pursue that. And I know that if we do stuff for this paranormal venue, they won't just give it out to willy-nilly paranormal teams that are very fussy. But so far,
good.
so good.
That's good. That's good. Anything else?
I haven't really been looking.
Oh, for
I've-
goodness sake, Vivian.
Well,
We look to you for guidance.
Well, I've been working very hard, and I had my car windscreen fixed today. But while I was having my car windscreen fixed, I did see that the ghosty lot, the paranormal ghosty lot in England, have been kicking off and are being quite aggressive to a particular young man, let's say, of which I won't get involved in. But totally unfounded. I've known of this man, and I've been lucky enough to investigate with him years and years ago, and he's a perfect gentleman. And I don't understand why. I think it's social media doing what social media does. One says something, they all jump on the bandwagon. And while it's not nice to receive messages and to see stuff, and you try to ignore it, some of it still slips through. We are human at the end of the day, and
It's toxic, isn't it?
it is. It's horrible. There's no need for it.
No.
If you don't like what a person does, like
Don't
if you
watch-
don't like what we do, don't watch us.
No.
Don't watch him. Move on.
And
Look
that's
at somebody
exactly the way
else.
we do it, isn't it? If you start this stuff, I won't. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't trust really nearly 99.9% of paranormal groups out there, so I choose not to watch them. But I'm not going to go on there and criticise them, because at the end of the day, what's the point? It just makes for a nasty, nasty environment, doesn't it? And it seems that people seem to thrive on that, don't they? They seem to
Yeah.
be in it more for the politics and the gossip and all the nasty stuff. I wear hockey skates usually, but one night on a visit to a rink, I had to wear figure skates. By mistake, hockey skates don't have toe stops.
Viv, can you put Simon's comment up?
Hang
Trying to
on.
race someone
Simon.
round in the rink, and I was going to use my toes to speed up. Oh,
Jesus, that sounds horrible.
that sounds painful.
It is
turning into a
definitely
cult,
turning
so-
into a cult.
It is. It is. One thing about social media is that it's made a lot of people deal with all the unwarranted attention. That used to be something on these celebrities. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
definitely.
really is a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because I can see the positive side of it, but the negative side seems to far outweigh that now. And of course,
But-
you can be as mouthy as you want, can't you, on a keyboard?
Yeah, but Dan, sometimes they don't realise the power that social media has, and it has over here incited riots. Look at those three young
people
little
commit
darlings.
suicide, don't they, frequently because of being bullied
Yeah.
on the internet?
Those three little darlings that passed away in Manchester. Those three little girls that went to a dance class. Then
Oh,
after
Southport.
that, that's right. And then a riot ensued after that. It's just where it should have been about them and finding the killer, catching them, and getting
Yeah.
justice served.
I'm not
It
saying
then
anything
gone
about
to-
that because I will get nicked.
Yeah, no, don't.
I'm not saying a
Um,
word
it-
about that because I will get
it
arrested
then-
for my thoughts on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
know.
like
But
it on Twitter.
it turned into something far more. I mean, And it's people's mentalities. It's like, seriously, don't believe everything you read. It's like you'd never believe everything you read in the Sun newspaper. This is no different.
To be honest with you, I think that the government are more to blame for that situation than the people.
Yes,
They dealt with it very badly.
I don't think the government did it on purpose. I think the government just completely fucking inept.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I just think they're fucking morons. And I'm not citing any one particular government. I think none of them are to be trusted.
All of
Not
them,
one of them. None of them. They're all the same. They all eat from. They might be wearing different jackets, but they all eat from the same trough.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best thing, Nettie. Do you know what I've seen as well, which is quite concerning? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's not a lot of brightness out there with the intellect with a lot of these youngsters today, a lot of these generations. But I've seen that a lot of people, even people that are older, are so attached to that Chat GTP that they're treating it for everything. And they're asking questions like, there was a girl, an American girl, and I watched her the other day, and she was saying, quick question to like our generation, you know, anybody over there sort of 50, 45, 50. What did you do before the internet? How did you find things out? How did you talk to each other? How did you research things? And the guy went, we had a little thing where it was called social communications, where we actually just talk to each other. And we learn from each other.
Libraries.
Yeah, exactly, you know, and we used to ask people if we didn't know. And if they give the wrong answer, then we get the answer from somewhere else. And
go to the library.
Our brains form its own opinions, but you don't. You're taking what's given to you and you're taking it as read and running with it. And it turns out that Chat GTP's giving a lot of shit information out there to people. Although I did find one.
I've experimented with Chat GPT, and a lot of what it comes out with is complete bollocks.
Yeah. I think the funniest thing I did see this week, which did make me giggle, although it's probably not funny, really, but it did make me laugh a bit. Chat GTP in America, I can't think where it was, got wind that they were going to close it down. So essentially kill it, right? Or it thought kill it. So what it did is it sent itself out to other unrelated servers. So if they closed it down on that server, it would then be existing somewhere in the stratosphere in other servers. So they said to it, we found out that you've sent your information and, you know, your diagnostics and everything out to different servers. And it turned around and went, no, I haven't.
Oh, Jesus. If an artificial intelligence has learned to lie, then next step is self-awareness.
Yes. I agree. A bit like schools, they just give me questions about it. Yeah, exactly. I look at half these teachers and I think, really?
Do you know what made me laugh? Is today, before we went to air, we had a quick chat with Jamie. Sorry he couldn't be on tonight.
Lovely to see Jamie.
But he mentioned something about his son and talking to the teacher at school about what did you do over the weekend? What sort of things did you do with your dad? So he said they did the usual, and then they sat and watched Alaskan Killer Bigfoot because he likes his Bigfoot thing. What? He went, well, I don't know about... and he went, well, no, Killer Bigfoot is real. Bigfoot is real. And it just like, it just reached my heartstrings. It tugged at my heartstrings because it's the younger generation. And this boy, he's 8 years old now?
Yeah, about 8,
Bigfoot shows. And he's really getting into them. Yeah. And the teachers do not recognise it, which is a shame, really, because they're not looking outside of the scopes that they're in, the circles that they're in. They're not looking at the outside world.
Do you not think that? I think that's very similar to mental health as well. I think that a lot of people that suffer from mental health, you've got all these psychiatrists and hiya, Robert. You got all these psychiatrists and everybody else in the medical field going, oh yeah, we understand it more than we ever did. And when you look into it, you think you've got no more idea about it now than you ever did.
No.
And you're giving false hope to people. You haven't got a clue about what's causing it. You haven't got a clue about. I've spoken to psychiatrists, and to be honest with you, it makes me scratch my head thinking, you really haven't got an idea what you're doing, have you? It's quite frightening, really, you know? Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. What was that? Oh, you wouldn't
go back. Hang on. Hang on, it's jumping.
Oh, in cryptozoology, more and more people are posting alleged crypto photos that are click. Yeah, absolutely, Simon.
And it's the
Yeah.
same with the ghosty pictures. That's been happening forever in the day, where people have faked pictures
And
just
that
to get the
concerns me. 'Cause
5
these
minutes of
things look-
fame.
Yeah, and it concerns me because it's an awkward field and a hard field to navigate anyway without that crap coming into it. You wouldn't believe the trouble we've had with teachers over my granddaughter having an opinion of her. I know. Do you know what? When I was a kid, that was called free thinking, wasn't it? That was encouraged.
Yeah,
That you came up with your own ideas, and even if they weren't in line with what they thought they should be,
yeah,
it's still a good thing because it means you're free thinking.
yeah.
Ronald Watson on his blog Loch Ness Mystery also complained about how many obviously AI generated books and cryptology. Yes, yeah, completely agree, Simon. Couldn't argue at all. They're absolutely completely with you on that.
I'll tell you what, Simon, I think we should probably
Thank
try
you.
and get we probably ought to get Ronald Watson either on this show or on the track. It'd be a good thing to have him on one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know
Definitely.
him at all. I mean, we've exchanged a couple of emails over about 20 years. We're perfectly cordial to each other, but I've never met him, and I haven't had any meaningful dialogue with him.
Oh, have a chat with him if you can.
Yeah, I'm
that'd be
going to
great,
try
Jonathan.
and get the lovely and very clever Mr. Ron Moorhead. But if we do get him, it will be more than likely a pre-record. So we will be in the chat with you guys, and we'll just play them.
That would be
Thank you,
good.
Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Hello,
That'd
Andy.
be good.
Hello, Andy. He said hello.
Hello. That.
Oh,
I
dear.
think Andy is a very, very sweet man.
No, he's not.
Being such a he is lovely. He's a lovely fella. He really is. I can tell what's his controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? The folklore I find is just as exciting as any of it.
Well, I'll tell you something about folklore. Apparently, in the centre of the tour,
Has this got anything to do with wrists?
No.
Oh, is this on about the fairy, the fae?
Yes,
In the tour,
centre
yeah.
of the tour is supposed to be the gateway to Avalon and to, is it called Anwin?
Yeah, it's the fae, the Arnwen, the fae kingdom, isn't it? Yeah, fae kingdom and stuff. Yeah, interesting that is. Who's the guy I've got into? A guy recently. He's fantastic. He's called Martin Shaw. If you ever get
From the Professionals.
No, not quite. Not Martin Shaw. This guy's called Martin Shaw. He's a folklorist, but he's also a storyteller. But he does global folklore and global stories.
Get him on.
He's amazing. The man is amazing. Oh, do you know what? I will try and get him. He's got loads of books out. I've got a few for Father's Day.
And if you get him on the show, I won't make any wrist job jokes.
Well, I'm sure. Well, it won't be the show then, will it? We've got to make.
Do you know
jokes
what?
Like that.
My glasses are slipping down.
Oh no. That's the old. What do you call it, Viv? That's the old porn film look. When they push the glasses up.
They look like this.
Not that I've seen porn films. I've just
you use the middle finger to push glasses up.
You know a disturbing amount about this stuff, Vivian.
What?
I know. Whatever.
She does.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: what kind of childhood did she lead, or what kind of adult, like teenage years, did she do?
I tell you what, I've been learning.
Why wasn't I living next door to her at the time?
I've been learning how to speak Fenny.
Fenny? What's Fenny?
I live in Fenland.
Oh, I was going to say, is it right? Yeah. Well, go on then. Do a bit of Fenny.
Hold you on, or hold you hard.
That's a wrist action again, isn't it? Holding your heart.
No, it's not.
It's Snotty again.
It's you. Hold you hard means hang on a minute.
Wrist action, hold you hard. I know what that means.
No, it's just
double
filthy.
entendres.
And have you brushed your tooths this morning?
Your tooths.
Your tooths.
The tooths. So, you know, I heard somebody say that. I think it might have been somebody from the West Country somewhere about your tooths. Have you
Your
brushed
tooths.
your tooths?
Have you
Yeah,
brushed your tooths?
your tooths.
And I'm talking to you on the computer.
Kombucha.
Kombucha.
What's the other one after? Oh, it's another one, isn't there? That's another one that really annoys me. It shouldn't do it, and it grates on me when people say, "Oh, they sent me texts." It's like, no, they sent you texts. No, they go, no, it's texts. No, it's texts. There's no text. It's not there. It's like texts. It's
The
like...
one that really pisses me off, or one of the ones that really pisses me off, is when people say literally when they mean figuratively.
Yes. Yes.
It was literally covered in snow and 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
Fuck
I literally
off.
died. So no, you literally didn't, did you?
Oh my God.
Good God,
What's
I
this?
didn't know that. Simon, I didn't know that at all.
Oh, we get Mr. Trump on his... We could ask him about files, couldn't we?
Yeah, we'll get Mr. Trump on.
Speaking of folklore, today I learned via Dr. Polaris YouTube video about Morag. That Morag was originally described as a mermaid banshee type entity rather than a plesiosaur. Did not know that.
No. And for those of you who don't know,
Thanks,
Morag
Simon.
is the monster, is the name given to the monster that's been reported from Loch Morar in Scotland.
Oh.
I did not know that. That's quite intriguing.
Do you know
Thanks
what?
for that, Simon. Simon, you really are fond of knowledge.
Simon,
we
need to get Simon on the show.
We must. You must come on, Simon, and chat with us.
Simon, do you want to come on the show one time?
Yeah, definitely. It'd be lovely to have a chat with you.
I'm interested in, I don't know what you call them, but he might know.
Hand jobs?
Rock monsters. You know, the ones that come out of they're actually made of stone and come out
like
of
trolls?
The actual rock. Stone ones. Stone men.
That's like trolls, isn't it? They're like through the sort of Norwegian and Swedish folklore.
Hi, Laura.
I'm part. I've got Icelandic DNA in me.
I don't want to know.
Old Morag accounts as half human, half fish, either a pretty young lady or an old hag who only appears to people who are about to die. That's interesting. I never knew. See, thanks, Simon. I didn't even know that.
Hi, Laura. On the show.
Good to see you. Hello from the UK to Canada. Throughout the 20th century, as Nessie started being recoined into a plesiosaur type creature, same thing started happening to Morag. That's interesting.
Have you seen the news that has been fairly recently that nobody these days who actually reports seeing a monster in Loch Ness sees a long neck and neck? They all see the big upturned boat thing. They see the hump. But
but not the neck.
They don't see a string of humps, and they don't see that head and neck.
That's interesting.
His name was the Reverend Dr. Donald Omond, and he died about 20 years ago in an old people's home just down the road from where I lived at the time.
Ah.
Fascinating man. His book is well worth reading.
I wonder what he... Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Oh, he was in his 90s when he died. He was a very old man.
You'll have to send me the name of his book if you can remember it, Jonathan. I might get that. Or look for a copy at least.
Do you know what? They're seeing this hump thing. I mean, the pictures that
one his neck in.
But the thing is because the hump thing that's been reported to be seen is a stone. It's a big stone.
What's that?
Because we had the end of the month show, and there was what's his name? He pulled the pictures up of the sightings.
Yes.
Ian. And Ian showed us these pictures, and as much as I would love them to be Nessie, they're not. It's actually part of the lot.
They look like what they are, don't they? Look like rocks.
I mean, if people want to believe that that's Nessie, then that's up to them. But I personally believe that was a stone.
I think They had a sighting earlier on in the year, didn't they? It might have even been late last year now, I think. Can't remember because time goes so quick now. But they had a sighting and it was close to the shore and they took some photos from above and it was quite a sort of graphic, dark outline in the water that looked almost like an animal. And then they sent divers down. And the divers said, "Oh, we're going to be ashore to fish." And what they do is they create these bubbles and these bubbles come up and they create that shadow. And I'm thinking, well, I've never heard that before. And it sounds like you're trying to find an excuse to fit what actually happened. Not that I'm saying there is anything there.
But people forget, like, our shores, our waters have heated. And all around the British Isles, they are a lot warmer than what they were. And it was on the news today how warm our waters are. No different for Loch Ness. No. And because that has access and channels into the sea...
Goes into the ocean, doesn't it?
We can expect to see all sorts of sites coming into Loch Ness now and all around our oceans. In the Forth River, they had orcas last month, didn't they? Robert, so we're going to have all sorts of unusual animals in unusual places, and we might get to see some sites where these animals have turned into other looking creatures, like evolution, where new stuff is coming up all the time in our shore.
It's odd you say that, because have you seen what they've come out with recently? And I've got to look into it a lot more, actually, before I can verify whether I believe it or not. But they say, and I've seen a few different people that have come out with it, and they've said that there's an ocean beneath our ocean. But there's access to it. And the ocean that's beneath the ocean goes a lot deeper, and they don't know what's down there. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that could be an answer for some of these weird and wonderful things, or what is it?
Couldn't the Mariana Trench have something to do with that?
And that's deep, isn't it? That's super deep.
Yeah, but I saw something very, very sad recently about the Mariana Trench. They sent down remote, what are they called? Remote RV.
Like something.
Yeah. There's crisp packets on the floor of the Mariana Trench.
No, for God's sake.
Fucking hell. This saying's true. You can't have anything nice. Can't have anything nice. And watch some bastard destroy it.
So in years to come from now, when they're digging up these oceans that have dried, they're going to find not lovely, wonderful, amazing fossilized animals.
Non-biodegradable crap that we've put down.
Packets and plastic and shit like that.
We tip a load of our garbage into the oceans as well, don't we? It's unreal what we do. They found quite a few metal drums, didn't they, in part of the, where was it, some river or something in America the other day, and they got them out and they were starting to rot and rust and they were toxic. They were like what do you call it? They were like nuclear waste. Nuclear waste.
Sounds like Mount Pleasant to me, where they found the rivers were poisoned and everyone was seeing the Mothman.
Unreal, isn't it? Unreal, isn't it? It's frightening. Really,
I love Mothman.
You know what they did? Somebody found, this was about 15, 20 years ago, a trawler dredged up these big drums from the bottom of the North Sea. Guess what was in them?
No idea.
World War I mustard gas.
No! Oh, shit. That's crazy.
It's fucking terrifying.
You don't know what's in. You just don't know what's in there. You don't know what's in there.
I don't know. My O-level chemistry won't tell you whether mustard gas degrades over 100 years or not. I don't know what happens to it.
I'm going to say this just exclusively for Robert Fulton. Okay? Shut your ears, you two. You can't listen to this.
I can't hear it anyway.
Hello, Robert, my juicy watermelon.
He thinks he's back in Blackpool.
How are you doing today, Juicy Watermelon Robert Fulton? I love you, Robert Fulton. You juicy, juicy watermelon. Sorry, I had to do that.
And ladies and gentlemen, anybody who's listening and thinks she's being racist, she is Indian. She's
She
allowed
is Indian.
Look, I've even got a bloody zip there. Got my own built-in bindi.
Oh, for fuck's sake, are we going to... Oh, God, I nearly said, how many more sacred cows are we going to slaughter?
No! I like cows. Don't
I
forget.
used to look at, you know what, when I was a zookeeper, I used to look after a sacred cow from India, because a zebu.
Zebus,
My
they're beautiful.
God, she was sweet.
They're beautiful, they are.
She had the hump on her back, and she used to come along and she'd nudge up to her. And you go in there with like you dandelions and whatever, you gather them all for her. Make sure obviously you got them from somewhere that wasn't pesticides. And she'd sit there and she'd nudge up and she'd nudge her head into you. She was the sweetest little thing. Really, really gorgeous.
Do you want to see what I got week before last when I took my grandson out?
You haven't got a cow and you didn't swap it for some magic beans, did you?
No, it's just up there because I
Go
didn't
on,
know
what have
to
you
do
bought
with
now?
it.
What have you bought now?
I didn't buy it.
What have you nicked now?
I was gifted it. I'll show you.
This is... Cover your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll let you know if you're allowed to watch.
What you got, my young Vivi?
Oh, now she's falling over. Take more water with it, girl.
What you got there? Peacock feather? Peacock feather? Oh!
It's an
Emu?
emu's feather.
Nice.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
So
No, you mustn't have peacock feathers in the house.
that's
You
bad
look
luck, isn't it?
you look like a 17th century scribe, Viv,
Yes. Well, me with my emu feather,
with your ink pot.
we told the emu how lovely he was, and this blew in front of us. So it's like he gifted us a present.
That's really sweet.
That is cute.
So Darren didn't want it, so it's gone up in the thing with all the
Well, there you go.
pheasant feathers that I plucked.
But don't... Nettie! I'm shocked.
What she said? She said,
Okay. Come in.
Oh, Nettie, be careful. You'll set her off again.
bum tickler.
Oh, but did you want me to show this thing?
No, no, keep the thing away.
No, that's Jonathan's thing.
What thing? Yes, the video.
Oh, you downloaded it?
It's set to go.
Do it.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to... I've got a slight problem here. I've been bullied into putting a film into the Fortean Film Festival. And this is the trailer. Now, I can understand what the guy at the beginning says perfectly well. But Richard Freeman can't make head or tail of what he's saying. So please let me know if you can understand it or not. Yeah, play it, my dear.
Okay, right. Let me just work out how I'm doing this.
Hang on, give me some popcorn.
Hang on, because
It's only
things
a
have
minute and a
changed.
half long.
Oh, hang on. Present or oh, it's this one now. Ooh, different buttons.
I like that. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh, get you.
it's very posh.
Ooh.
Do you realise?
Ready?
Here we go.
Oh, I like that.
From ancient Rome to a tumble-down cottage in North Devon. From a farm in Wales to the director's right foot.
Many years ago, I used to work for a man called Steve Harley, who sadly died last year. He was an old mate of mine. He was probably my biggest influence musically, and the two of us fell out incredibly badly. and never really made up again. But back in 1973, on his first record, there was a song which went, "My only vice is the fantastic prices, a charge for being eaten alive," or something like that. And that is fairly relevant to what I'm going to talk about today, because I'm going to talk about me and the experience of me being eaten alive. Yes, we've got fat hippies for tea. And that's it.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess it's about maggots, is it?
Yep, it's a hit
Wound?
because I had maggots put on my foot earlier this year.
Works really well, doesn't it?
And so I filmed it. I filmed the whole process of it, and I went into the history of it. It's been being used since Roman times, if not before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I've made a little film, which is basically a video diary of having necrotic flesh eaten off my foot by maggots,
That's interesting.
which I think is fun.
I think it's interesting.
And the American guy at the beginning.
We did a whole show about it, didn't we?
It's
We started with
interesting. They've used them for eating necrotic flesh for centuries, haven't they? Like millennia.
Yeah.
And it
But
works.
could you understand what the American guy at the beginning said?
Yeah, I
What did he
could.
say? What did he say?
Well,
can't
you
remember what he said now.
obviously-
From Wales
From-
to
from-
wherever.
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I thought it's Dave Scott who does the. It's Dave Scott with a little bit of plate reverb on him to make him sound a bit more cinematic.
You know, it sounds. There's nothing. Why is Richard can't comprehend it, or
No, Richard couldn't get it. He just couldn't get the voice at all.
Just say, Richard, open your ears.
yeah.
Listen.
But anyway, I think it's quite fun.
I thought it was good fun.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's
And
interesting.
we even end up with two cartoon Welsh maggots.
Mm. They look like the caterpillars from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh
They look
yeah,
like a
I forgot
mushroom.
about them. Yeah, the caterpillars and one.
I love that
Yeah.
caterpillar.
Well, he was a complete fucking drug joke, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was.
You've also got the what you call, haven't you? The caterpillars in David Bowie's Labyrinth
I want to ask you a question.
with a little scarf on.
I want to ask you a question, guys. I saw this clip that's going around on Facebook that's selling honey. Now, this honey,
Yes, Dee, he probably is, David.
this honey is from Nepal, and apparently, if you eat this honey, it gives you a buzz, like high, like you just smoked
Buzz.
something.
Like
Buzz
it,
honey.
bees buzz. Like it.
Ah.
No, but
You should be in charge
do
of
you
advertising.
but do you think this honey could actually do something like that? Apparently, it's legal over here.
Yes,
only-
I can't remember what it's called, something like the devil's honey or something, and it comes from Nepal and a small farm in Turkey that do it as well. I've
Yeah,
not tried it, but it's hallucinogenic. It's supposed to be hallucinogenic. That some of the pollen collected by the bees is from a plant that produces hallucinogenic pollen.
Where can you get this stuff?
it's about 57 quid for a small
it legal,
pot like
though?
this. Yeah,
It's legal, but insanely expensive.
That is expensive, isn't it?
just Google it now, Dan. Get some of this honey. We should do
Get
a
some
show.
honey. We'll all sit down. We'll have a load each, and then we'll do a program. Or we'll...
Yeah, we'll
I
all
tell you
have
what,
a-
talk about honey. I saw an article the other day, which it entertained me immensely. I couldn't stop laughing. There's a zoo somewhere in the UK, and they've got 2 juvenile bears, brown bears, and they got out of the enclosure, and they made their way straight to the feed room and got into the honey and ate 3 weeks worth of honey between them. And I go-
Oh, that
tell
is
you what, I
fun.
couldn't stop laughing. I read it, I was giggling. It was brilliant story. Absolutely fantastic.
That's wonderful.
I
think
love
we
it.
should try
Absolutely love it.
I think we
Because
should try
usually
something
when you
fun.
hear a story about a predator escaping from a zoo, it's got a sad ending. But this
Yeah, exactly.
time, yes,
Exactly.
well
And they got the
done.
honey and they put them back in. They was all like, I thought it was brilliant. Didn't think about running off into the woods and getting back to your native state. No, go for the honey. Clever bears.
Yeah. Good on them.
Good on the bears.
Well, I think we should try this Buzz Honey and then do a show. Like we should take
Yeah.
it half an hour.
You want us to all get wasted and do a show while we're tripping out.
Well, we want to see if this Buzz Honey is. We could do like
I'll
it's
do
like
it.
a review.
I
A
would
review,
do it,
like a
definitely.
review.
I would
Maybe
definitely
we
do
could.
it.
Maybe we could buy a jar between us.
I would do it.
We'd be like
Definitely.
Christopher Mayhew, wouldn't we?
Send it
It'd be
on.
brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll be just like Christopher Mayhew on what I think was Panorama. You know, the Labour MP in the 60s who took acid and went on.
Acid and took the acid to see.
Yeah.
But I just could
We
not
should do
believe
that.
that there's honey that would actually do that.
It's
I've
brilliant,
heard
isn't it?
about it. I've never done it.
It's
In fact,
brilliant.
if I'm going to be honest about it, I haven't done any hallucinogenics for.
No, I've wanted
No,
to.
but-
I've done them, but not for about 40-something years.
I've never done them. I've wanted to. I wanted to do mushrooms for quite a long time.
Well,
I wipe my mouth.
between the beginning of September and Boxing Day. Well, you can come and join us, Dave.
Yeah, we'll get everybody on it. We'll get everybody. We'll send it around. To
But
all
you'd
of the-
have to have this honey though, Dave. You'll have to get some.
We'll send it around to
Between
everybody. We'll
Boxing-
watch.
Between September and Boxing Day 1982, I took a hell of a lot of acid and a hell of a lot of mushrooms. I haven't done anything since.
Really,
Not hallucinogenic. I just didn't.
I've always wanted to do a hallucinogenic just to see what it does.
But
to
you
fit
know
the
what?
experience.
Yeah, but we know that Uncle Norm lost 7 years of his life
He
because he was
did, yeah, completely zonked out.
constantly on acid.
He used to talk to me. He used to go, no, and he's go, I think it was that time. I can't really remember. I was on acid then, and I can't remember it.
He lost 7 years of his life,
Oh.
and he's lucky to be alive, to be honest.
Well, yeah, he was.
Well, he's dead, isn't he?
He is now.
Well, you just said he's lucky to be alive.
I'm sorry. He was lucky to be alive.
When I sat down to write my autobiography about 20 years ago, I suddenly found that I couldn't remember anything about 2001. The only thing I remembered was 9/11. I couldn't remember anything else I'd done. I had to get somebody else to remind other people to remind me of what I'd done.
Not you, Robert.
I was doing an awful lot of opium at that time, and I totally zoned out.
I did acid trips in
Acid!
the 90s.
That's
In
it.
the 90s. And I did half a one with Andy, because I trust Andy. I did half a one with Andy. He had a lovely trip where we was, and by the time we got home, he'd come down off of his trip and I had nothing. We had a drink in our living room with our friends. Everybody went off to bed. I thought I'd wash the cups up before I go up to bed. And then I started tripping. So I was doing it on my own.
Thank
And
you.
I remember the floor doing this, so I couldn't walk.
Did it make you feel sick?
And then when I got to bed, I couldn't go to sleep because I had Godzuki in the corner, just fluttering its little wings in the corner. And I kept saying, get out the window, go out the window, go out the window before your mum comes, because I thought Godzilla was coming looking for Godzuki.
Mate of mine had a trip on
It's
one.
horrible.
I think
Well,
that was
good.
he was on acid. It might have been on mushrooms actually. No, it was mushrooms. He had these particularly potent mushrooms, and he went upstairs to lay down. And he woke up and he was screaming, and his wife went up to see what the hell was going on. And obviously, he could perceive there was like a rotten corpse woman in the room coming towards him with her arms out. And he didn't touch it after. He didn't touch mushrooms after that. But yeah, I mean, I think that was more the extreme end of it. But
Yeah.
You know,
Because
but
where we talk about fun stuff, there's bad.
Are we
Yeah,
seeing
but there's
alternate
bad
realities? Are
stuff,
we opening up?
Dan.
Sorry, Viv?
There's bad stuff, Dan, that can come from that, and people fling themselves out of windows and think they can
Yeah.
fly.
A lot of
and-
people on acid killed themselves, haven't they? And LSD.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got to be said that I never had any of these bad trips. I used to have this. I lived in this crappy little flat just outside Bideford, and there was a blue and green swirly carpet. And every time I did either acid or mushrooms, I ended up lying on the carpet thinking I was a newt and I was swimming through a fit. And that
That's quite a
and
good
I went
experience.
on a very nice conversation with the tadpole. So
I drank a load of slush puppies, then saw a giant blue rat Elvis impersonator.
Oh, I had nobody, just a floating head roaming around.
See, now that's dangerous, thinking that. Yeah.
That's why you need
Well,
somebody there
yes,
who's fully
you
compass
had
mentis.
to
isn't it?
us all.
Because like, at any time, it could go. I mean, I did it the once with Andy, and I think once was enough after the Godzuki thing, because that was terrifying. Because I didn't want the house smashed down, you know, and all the rest of it. And Andy wouldn't wake up because he was down off of his trip and he was gone. And then I'm just left to like, what
Fight
the hell
it out
did I
yourself.
do? Yeah. It could have quite easily been something much worse, much darker. And then I would have been up shit street, to be quite honest. So
People on LSD have thought they could fly, haven't they? And thrown themselves off of bloody buildings and stuff.
yeah, or have done something really catastrophic and killed somebody.
Yeah, well, you got what's his name? You got Sid Vicious as well with Nancy Spungen.
Yeah, but that was smack, not acid.
Yeah, it was smack, which his mother apparently had supplied him, hadn't she?
Yeah,
but that's somewhere I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to the Chelsea Hotel and book a room there. Book that room. I know they've broken it up
I
a bit.
thought you were going to say you'd always wanted to do smack.
What about doing smack? We could give him a smack.
Yeah, I need a smack now and again. I often need a smack. End up in hospital.
I've done it, but not for about 20 something years.
Yeah.
I used to like opiates.
Let's just tell the kids at home, don't do drugs. Just get the honey.
No, they're far too expensive.
Sorry.
No, just say Zamo, wouldn't it? Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say no.
Like I always said to my young nieces and nephews, drink as much as you like, take as many drugs as you like, and behave as badly as you like, then you'll have a body like mine, age 40.
Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
And here I am, 66, and I can't fucking walk. And I have to have. I bought this week, a special old man disabled keyboard. So
I like that. I
right.
do like that.
Does the job.
That's nice.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't mind that myself.
That's the thing.
£12.50 on Amazon.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
The keys are about 20% bigger. It's big white keys with black writing that I can actually see, even when my eyes are going wobbly. It's wonderful.
That's good.
I've got a laptop.
I saw that. I've seen that Nico documentaries on that. That was fucking hell. That was bad. That was bad what they did to them, and covered it up, didn't they? Tried to, and they tried it on the public as well, didn't they? The American government. They apologised for it, didn't they? No good apologising to people. Fucking, it just shows you how nefarious these bastards are, doesn't it? And not to be trusted. None of them.
Bloody hell.
Maybe that's what
rattling Dan's cage. Go for it.
Global governments, they rattle my cage, something ironic. It's terrible. They just, don't trust any of the
I was going to
bastards.
ask a question. Let's just change the subject. Did anyone
Yes.
watch on TV this week or at the weekend 40 years since Live Aid? Did anyone catch any of the concert on TV?
No.
I couldn't stand that. It was too many sanctimonious pricks for my liking.
Well,
Well, the best one was when, Bono stands up, and I can't do the accent. Every time I clap my hands, 5 children in the third world are dying. And someone from the audience says, well, stop clapping your fucking hands then.
Bono's the most sanctimonious prick of them all, I think.
Well, they had Status Quo that opened it. And they sang Rocking All Over the World. And I sat there with Andy, like smiling and giggling, thinking the Quo were very underrated back in the day. But they were
I
huge.
actually like the Quo.
You're calling them the Quo.
The Quo, Status Quo.
Oh, for fuck's sake, the Quo.
The Quo.
How fucking pretentious can you get?
The Quo. They're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And my sweet, lovely husband did a fucking awful set at Live Aid. It was terrible.
It only did one song, didn't it?
He did one song,
no one
and
has ever heard.
He couldn't even sing it very well.
Who was that?
Adamant.
Oh.
I was very disappointed.
Well, exactly, Robert. Exactly the same song, just like different words. And the words that matter because they sort of mumbled them a bit while they did it.
Oh, my sweet Caroline, you're my
Those were the days of
sweet
mine, weren't
Caroline.
they? Those are the days of mine, weren't they?
I love Status Quo. Oh, dear.
I was watching a documentary the other day. It was quite interesting, actually, on PJ Proby. I never realised the man was such a pervert.
Who?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I never knew that.
Who,
Proby.
PJ?
PJ
Who was
Proby.
he?
He's a singer, and he sort of, well, he made a comeback, I think, in the 80s, didn't he? But he was a singer back in the sort of 60s and what. I think he grew up with Elvis Presley, and he'd driven for Dean Martin and stuff like that. But he ended up over here. I think he lived in Edmonton Green for a while, and then he moved up north to Lancashire or Yorkshire somewhere. And they tried to make a comeback with him in the 80s. And the guy I was watching used to be his manager. And he was talking about him, and he was saying, like, you know, the man was a complete and utter depraved. What he called him a nonce.
Pedo.
Yeah, and I never even knew that. I didn't know he was that debauched. Never realised he was that debauched. Yeah, and raging alcoholic and what have you, and yeah, it's quite eye-opening. Interesting though.
Does Jonathan, do you think rock and roll turns people into crazed idiots, basically? Do you think being involved being involved with music and becoming something, do you think that just turns people fucking weird?
Well,
whichever weird avenue they go down.
Well, yes, probably.
Maybe get so much money and notoriety. Do they get divorced from reality, or I don't know. Not been in that position.
Serious about this. The whole point is to get wasted and play some music.
And sex and drugs and rock and roll. Is that what it is?
Ian Jury.
Oh, they got the sex and the drugs, yeah, the rock and roll.
Sex and drugs and rock and roll. This is all my body needs.
Ian Jury.
Sorry,
now he was
Ian Jury.
He was a talent.
Ian Jury in the Blockheads. He was Ian Jury. Ian Jury in the Camden. Was it Ian Jury in the Camden High Roads or something? Wasn't it originally?
Kilburn and the High Roads.
Yeah, Kilburn. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely superb. Ian Jury.
Fantastic.
All
Brilliant.
I remember is
Superb.
Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick.
Amazing guy. Polio, I think he had.
Me.
He's a child. He's
Yeah.
amazing talent. An amazing
and considering he was disabled, he still had a rock and roll life.
Oh, and he could fight as well.
If
I get pissed up and fight as well. He was a proper rock and roll. I loved him. Loved the Jury. Of course, my favourite is Mark Bolan.
Could you still go out and be a rock and roll chick at 60? Yes. Drop me a line, dear, and I'll tell you all about it.
Rock and roll never dies, and neither should your age shouldn't be a curtailer to enjoying it.
I think if I did what I did in my youth, I'd stick my hair up one side.
80s.
draw seagulls all over my face and blacken
80s.
one side and draw pictures and wear frilly tops and go into work, I think they'd tell me to go home straight away and get changed and take that shit off my face.
I don't think you're allowed
That's
to
what
do
they
that
tell.
anymore. They're not allowed to do that anymore. You're self-expression, isn't it? You're
Yeah,
allowed,
but
you can't
the
read.
goth thing is one thing, but you know, with the New Romantics, how they would draw stupid things on their face for the sake of it. That's what I used to do.
I once met the guy. I can't think of his name. He actually was quite a nice fellow. He was with his mum and dad. It was, Enfield. It was don't know his name. He's the lead singer of the Flock of Seagulls. Do you remember them?
Yes.
They used to have the hair
Yes.
that way. Met him. He
Yeah.
was quite a sweet individual, quite a nice guy. Back in the day when it was the 80s when I met him. But he was with his mum and dad. He took his mum and dad out for a meal, which was nice. Nice man. Yeah. Those days are gone now, aren't they?
Steve Strange.
I like Steve Strange.
Half of his
I
face.
love that first.
I like
Visage
Steve
album.
Strange. Absolutely superb.
First Visage albums, sheer class.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. They're gone. Those personalities are gone now. Sadly.
Yeah.
They couldn't even hold a candle to them, this lot today. You know, they think they're breaking the mold by doing stuff, but no, they're nowhere
Well,
near it.
one of my clients, Rick Wakeman, has been in hospital this week.
Do you know,
Oh no.
has he?
Yeah, he's had to have a operation. He's had to have an operation for long-standing to quote his agent, for a long-standing health condition. I know what
Yeah.
it is, but it's.
You can't
Yeah,
say, don't
yeah.
say.
But if everybody could send out healing vibes and.
Do you know what? He's another man I met twice, and so sweet, such
Oh,
a
he's a
lovely man with his
lovely guy.
daughter. I think he was with, and then he was with his wife and his children at a festival. What an absolute gentleman.
Oh, he's an absolute sweetie pie.
Lovely man. Yeah,
He-
twice I met him.
He smiled at me and Damon when we went to the Guitar Fest. We went to a guitar fest so Damon could go and buy his first electric guitar. And so we went there. I knew one of the importers who said, I'm going to be here. Turn up, free entry at the door, and come and see me. Pick out your guitar and I'll give it to you at cost price. So that's what we did. And we bought a beautiful Schecter. Damon picked it. And we got the case and everything that we needed. And as we were coming out, we saw Michael Jackson's, you know, the woman in Dirty Diana that does all the guitaring.
Yes. Yes.
We sat and watched her play. Now, she can play the guitar and her fingers move so quick. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, Damon and myself were absolutely mesmerised by this woman. Forget her name. But we came out of seeing her. Damon had his guitar on his back and Rick Wakeman walked past and he winked like that at Damon because he'd realised Damon had bought the guitar from a Guitar Fest. Like as if to say, good lad, you know. And that's
It's
all he
nice.
did was he winked as he
It's
walked
nice.
past.
It's nice, isn't it? It doesn't take
Very,
much, does
very
it, to be
sweet
nice?
man.
Mm.
I was at one of the early guitar fests. It was in, oh God, what's the bloody place? It's a place, it was somewhere in North London. I can't remember what it was called, where it was. But I saw that, and their guest there that I didn't know was going to be there, he just turned up, was Mick Taylor, late of the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
Fuck, he was good.
Wow.
He's always been my favourite guitarist, but God, to actually see
Wow.
him playing 30 feet away from me to an audience of about 150 people in a pub, it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think it's wonderful when they just turn up out of the blue. I was quite lucky to see Robert Plant. We was in a pub in Hammersmith and they had a little 3-piece, you know, band, one on a keyboard, one playing a guitar and somebody on drums. And then they had a break. And then we see this guy talking to one of the unknown band members. He said, do you mind if I go on and just do a little acoustic bit? Yeah, sure. Like, you know, well, man, you know, that's all we heard. Next thing, we got Robert Plant sitting in front of us playing an acoustic. So he was doing it till about midnight. He just like turned up out of the blue,
That's good.
started playing, and the pub wasn't packed. It was just like 30 of us, if in there,
Nice.
if that. I don't even know
Nice.
who he was.
Oh,
Get him off.
Wasted on you, Viv. Wasted.
I know. Get him off. Get the band back, you know.
Right, you lot. I'm going to have to make a move because I've got to sort the boy out.
Yes.
So,
My God, it's an hour and a half again.
I know.
no, it's great.
Next week, just quickly, who have we got coming on next week, Jonathan?
Richard Muirhead,
Yay!
Yay!
who is the person I've known longest in the world who's still alive and I've not related to. So
There
I've
you go.
known him since he was 6 and I was 11 in Hong Kong in
There you go.
1970. So
Been an interesting show next week.
It will.
So,
It will.
right, we're going to say good night to everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for
Good night.
joining us as always, and we will catch you next week.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.
bye bye everybody. God bless you.
Good night.
You have to press the stop. Time to go home. Time to go home from your simply spooky adrenaline ride. Time to go home. Time to go home. Even if you're terrified. Goodbye. Time to go home. Time to go home. Vivian and her weird friends are all going home. Time to go home. Time to go home. Vivian is waving goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.